You're watching WCSD Cable Television from Calloway County High School.
Paschall Truck Lines is a large respected corporation that gives many different job opportunities such as trucking, management, and customer service, but many overlook the hard job of fixing up the engines that make the trucks run. Hello, I'm Chesley Nance for Calloway Connections, and this is my guest today, Andrew Lee, a service technician at PTL. Hello, thank you for being here with us.
A pleasure.
So let's start out the interview with, how would you describe PTL as an overall view?
So PTL is your average small town trucking company. Got about 1,000 trucks, running about 3,000 trailers. We're not a really large corporation. We can't compare to the big guys like Maverick and Swift and all them, but we can hold our own. And really, it's just moving goods from point A to point B. Really.
You mentioned that it's a smaller truck corporation, kind of. If that's small, 1,000 trucks, what are the bigger ones like?
Companies like Maverick's the first one that comes to mind. They're running anywhere from 8 to 10,000 trucks company-wide. They're going all over the nation. They've got trucks in Canada and Mexico as well. So that's be what I would consider a larger corporation.
Okay. You said that Maverick runs all over the nation. PTL, how big do they go? Do they go in only certain states or they go across?
PTL we operate strictly in continental USA. We've got shops in Texas and Memphis, Tennessee is another one of our big shops. So we run pretty much coast to coast.
Okay. What product exactly is PTL hauling? Is there just one specific one, or they do variety of products?
It's a pretty wide variety. One of our main contracts is with TJ Maxx. We move most of their merchandise. Hyster forklifts, we move a lot of their stuff. Those are our two major ones that we're trying to push out quick, and then just other small companies along the way. So you can open one of our trailers up and you'll never find the same thing twice.
What is your job specifically having to do with? Because I know that you don't exactly drive the trucks, but you work on them. So what do you typically do?
Right. So basically, my job is to keep the trucks on the road. Trucks and trailers both are held to a different set of traffic laws than your standard passenger vehicles would be, like cars, pickup trucks, and whatnot. We have to follow very, very closely the DOT standards, which is the Department of Transportation. So my main job is I pull the trucks in, I look them over, and any DOT violations that would cause that truck to basically be pulled over and stopped on the side of the road, I fix those before that happens.
Okay, well, you mentioned the specific things that a truck or a trailer has to have. What are some of those traits that it has to have in order to be put out onto the road?
Okay, so all of your lights, even if it's a light that maybe you don't necessarily have, if you have a light bulb on the truck, it has to work every time. So we do a lot of light and electrical works. You gotta make sure all your brakes, because trucks operate under a drum brake system, all your brakes have to be within certain 30 seconds of an inch, otherwise you'll get rode up. Tread depths, which is how deep your tires are, you have to be above 40 or 430 seconds on your tires. Make sure there's no air leaks and just make sure everything's in working order.
Okay. Well, I think that we're going to go to a break right now. And I think we'll be back with my guest, Andrew Lee. I'm Chesley Nance for Calloway Connections.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Welcome back. I'm Chesley Nance for Calloway Connections, and this is my guest, Andrew Lee, a service technician at PTL. What are some, when we were last talking, you were talking about some things that had to be done for the trucks and for the trailer for them to be put on the road.
Right.
What are some typical repairs, like some common ones that you have to do often?
Probably the most common repair I have would be either batteries or brakes. Trucks that we're running, they run off an EPU system, which is it's just a S-bar heater that runs off 4, then your truck runs off 4. So we're doing 8 batteries per truck. And a lot of times these drivers, they don't really understand how the electrical systems in the truck work, so they're trying to run refrigerators, microwaves, coffee maker, Xbox, and everything off a little inverter, and it fries our batteries. Typical day, I can usually change 12, 16 batteries. And then our brakes too, you've got a 15, 20,000 pound truck with a 40,000 pound trailer on the back. It puts a big toll on your brakes and tires, so I do changing brakes and tires a lot.
Okay, I know that you don't, like I said before, you don't exactly drive the trucks, but for the people who do, what are your thoughts about like the self-driving trucks that are now being just brand new coming out onto the road?
This is something that I dabble with a little bit in my class. I'm in college for diesel as well as going to work in the field. And one thing my instructor is telling me that these trucks, it's no longer something that's in development. It's not something that, that's 20 years down the road. They actually have them. They have a truck that has gone across the country with no driver. And really the only thing as a technician is it scares me, because I don't drive the trucks on the road. I don't haul trailers really, but I do drive them around the parking lot. And even just in the parking lot at 15 miles an hour with such a large vehicle, there's so much that can go wrong. And when you're going down the road 70 miles an hour with a 40,000 pound trailer and you don't have a driver to make that split second decision when something goes bad, it's a scary thought. I don't like it one bit, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, so you said that if it's robot driven, what are your thoughts about the people who sit at a desk and do it? Do your thoughts change then?
The only thing that would change then would be, I still like that there's a human there to be able to make that decision, but with the technology that would go into that, you're in the media type business, what can go wrong with technology. And there's no rhyme or reason for it. It's just sometimes stuff doesn't work. So if he's over there controlling the joystick with a Xbox controller, driving a truck from 100 miles away even, one signal gets crossed or one wire shorts out, you hit a bump too hard, the whole thing can end up causing a lot of damage, get people killed.
I understand. What makes you drawn to your specific line of work, since you don't exactly drive the trucks? Why do you not drive them and you do mechanical stuff instead?
The main reason I was drawn into it is, I've always been fascinated with the diesel engine and working with my hands. With being a truck driver, you have to be over 21. So with me being 19, it's really the closest thing I can get into the trucking business. So I'd say that would be my main draw. And for the most part, people really underestimate the people working on the engines, working on the motors and keeping everything running, because all they see is the truck drivers. They don't see us behind the scenes. As far as that goes, I'd much rather be behind the scenes, because once you get out there on that road, it's a different world.
Yeah, you kind of make the truck do what it does,
Right.
Do you think that once you are of age, 21, do you think you might start driving a little bit and still do that, or can you do that, or you don't have to only pick one or the other?
You can get a local route. We've got guys at PTL, we've got 4 or 5 drivers that they're called local drivers. They'll go from our main headquarters in Murray, and they'll drive to Calvert and Paducah and then come back. They're at home with their families every night. But me personally, I'd much rather be working out of a toolbox than living in a truck.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I think this is going to be our last question. and this is going to be for the people out there that share the road with the trucks. What are some things that could be helpful or considerate of the truck drivers that us as just regular car drivers could like help do?
Main thing is give them room. You know, you've got 60 to 80,000 pound payload coming down the road at 70 to 80 miles an hour. You know, it's really hard to turn, it's really hard to stop, and you can't make a lot of quick movements. So whenever you dart over there in front of them, they're not going to be able to slow down as fast as you can. I mean, more than likely, you're going to end up getting hit. You know, you can look on the internet and all the videos and everything out there of all the truck accidents. Most of the time, it's because a smaller vehicle came in there faster than the truck was, cut them off, and the truck driver tries to correct to avoid hitting somebody. You just can't correct a payload like that. It's too big. Another thing is, if you can't see the driver's mirrors, he can't see you. You've probably seen that sticker on the back of the trucks, but it's true as can be. If you don't see those mirrors, he doesn't see you. So if he hits his brakes and you go sliding under that trailer, he'll never know.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today and giving us this insightful information. And thank you for joining us today and listening to him talk about his job and what he does and other such things. I'm Chesley Nance of Calloway Connections, signing off.